We now want to talk about the cost of energy, but before that, KenGen is having its AGM today. The power generator, of course, is having an AGM amidst the big conversation around the cost of energy, which is what is going to form the core business of today's conversation with Mark Ajal, who is Amotech Projects Manager right here in studio. We're going to be decoding every bit of thing that concerns the cost of energy in the country. We saw the president saying that the cost of energy should go 30% lower by December. We have seen him reduce it by 15% as recent as 12th December when we were celebrating the Jamhuri Day. What does this mean to manufacturers and to households? We're going to be putting perspective to all that. But first of all, let's have a look at those images, even as we prepare that KenGen AGM story comprehensively for our subsequent bulletins, which will be coming during the day. All right, so just as rightly put, Mark Ajal, who is Projects Manager at Amotech Africa. Amotech Africa is an energy measurements and energy measurement firm here in Africa. We now want to just put perspective to this conversation. Good to see you, Mark. Let's just find meaning in what the directive that the president gave, 15% drop down in the cost of energy. What does this mean, Mark?
Well, thank you, Brian, and it's a pleasure to be on this show. A 15% drop in energy means the cost of manufacturing should come down. It means the inputs, one of the key inputs for manufacturers, for households in the cost of production, in the cost of living, should be able to come down, and means more money in people's pockets, which they can then use for other activities in the economy.
Amazing. So I just want to read for you the cost of 1,000 worth of tokens here in the country. And we want to just put perspective to this. So this is a purchase of a 1,000 token from KPLC, all right? So the units are 54.26. The amount paid is 1,000 Kenya shillings. The token amount is 542, which of course translates, it's converted, if you multiply the 54 units by 1,000, you get 542. And then the VAT 16%, computed at 16%, comes to 132.62. And then the fuel energy charge is 228.44. Forex charge is 39 shillings 0.84. IPRA charge is 1.62, WRA charge 0.98, REP charge is 27.18, and of course the inflation adjustment is 25.5. Why do we pay so expensively for energy in this country, Mark?
Well, it's not unique to Kenya. I can tell you for certainty, energy consumers throughout the world have issues with their utilities, but it's not because there's anything wrong with the system, but it's how the energy production pipeline is structured. There's a production cost involved at generation. There's a transportation cost through KETRACO and through KPLC's high voltage system. And then there is a distribution cost to bring power to a level that we can use in our homes. So those factors, the production, the transportation, can be controlled by utilities, and it's where we drive our efficiencies by having accurate test and measurement, measuring what has been produced, what has been delivered throughout the energy chain. So that the utilities have a say in, but there are factors that go into the cost of production and the cost of delivering energy, which utilities do not control. An example could be the cost of foreign exchange. We procure equipment in hard currencies. We can't manufacture everything that we need locally. So there's equipment that will be procured in hard currencies. The utilities don't control that pricing, so there's an adjustment in the tariff. The utilities also don't control inflation, so there'll be an adjustment for the cost of inflation. Then there are levies that support the water towers, things that support the functioning of energy regulators. Those are not in the control of utilities. So what the utilities control is by driving efficiency on the production and delivery, having accurate test and measurement, which is where Amotech plays in, But then the factors they can't control, adjustments are provided for in the tariffs, and it's not unique to Kenya.
Amazing. As we wind this conversation up, there is the bit of supplementing hydropower energy with other sources of energy. We understand parts of Kenya enjoy quite a timeline of sunshine. Then there is the aspect also of KenGen generating geothermal power. In other countries, we've seen KenGen land deals in Djibouti, in Rwanda, to drill geothermal power. How then can we supplement the energy, the hydropower energy, with alternative sources of energy so that we at least make it at least more bearable, at least more affordable to both manufacturers and also the household use, Mark? In under 1 minute.
Energy is, we do something called a least cost generation plan, a least cost expansion plan. So what that means is, for the context of Kenya, we look at what energy sources we have, and then we put those energy sources into a production pipeline, knowing I will dispatch the cheapest sources first, but not just dispatching them when they're ready. Even in construction, I will construct the cheaper energy generation facilities first, ahead of the more expensive ones, which is where you're seeing moves like the focus toward geothermal energy in Olkaria, or the focus toward developing solar PV capacity of the country. Those are lower cost energy sources which supplement hydro, but all those sources need accurate test and measurement, and we play a big role in that as Amotech.
Amotech plays a big role in that.
Yes.
Many thanks, Mark Ajal, who is the project manager at Amotech Africa Test and Measurements Farm in the region. We really appreciate your input on the cost of electricity and the cost of energy at large, really for the manufacturers and equally for the household. And we hope that the cost of energy is going to go low, as promised by the President.